ready to go. Call to order the Planning Commission meeting Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Greenfield City Hall at 6 o'clock. Item number 1, roll call. Christie?
Alderperson Kastner.
Present.
Steve Rogers.
I'm here.
Brian Weiss.
Present.
Don Carlson. Dave Schills.
Present.
Bob Krenz.
Present.
Mike Braswell.
Present.
Danielle Woljak.
Present.
And the mayor is excused this evening.
All right. That doesn't change any alternate voting, does it? Okay, item 2, approval of the minutes from May 10th, 2022. Did you want to make that correction, since it's affecting you?
Yes.
Either one.
Oh. No. You want
The last page, second paragraph, it said Alderman Kastner and Mr. Rogers agree that this is a good start for a conceptual plan. Rogers wasn't here. Although he sounds like he's in favor of it.
I technically actually agree with that, but I wasn't here. So
Yes.
if you could put that in parentheses, that's
I
fine.
believe it would have been Bob, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, sorry, we will correct that.
I wasn't sure how I got in there.
So I entertain a motion to approve with that correction.
I'll make a motion to approve with that motion. I second.
And I'll actually abstain from the vote.
And I wasn't here either, I'll abstain.
Abstain.
Yes, Steve, Don, and Dave.
In theory, you really don't have to abstain.
In theory, that's correct, as long as you agree with them.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstained?
I abstain,
Okay.
although in theory I don't have to.
That's the way I was told.
Cover all your bases.
Item,
Point of order, and I'm not big on the whole point of order thing, but we had 3 people abstain. Do we still have a quorum to vote? Is that?
it's a tie that I don't even know if it got approved. I guess we'll find out.
Oh.
Would that mean then the people that here have to vote? This is a good question.
That is a good question. Who has the Roberts rules memorized?
Is there an alternate that could vote on that?
Because they were present.
If they abstain, do they get to vote? If you were able to vote, for the record.
Don't worry, we don't ever do this. This is outside. We're not gonna keep going.
They'd approve it. You were both here, right? Yeah, so they voted in favor if they need to.
Yeah, we'll just do that way and then
Yeah, there you go.
All
move
right.
on.
Item 4, site and architectural plans for a proposed gazebo at the Salvation Army, an existing business located at 2900 West Cold Spring.
Did you do 3?
You skipped 3.
3.
I did. Did skip 3. Item 3, what did we do at last council?
Oh, thank you. We had a special council meeting, and for buy-in strength and conditioning, there was a snafu with the publication, thanks to the local newspaper. But anyways, the Common Council approved it, and that's the only public hearing we had in the month of May.
All right, then we'll go back to item 4 as I presented, submitted by the Salvation Army Cold Spring.
Thank you. The Salvation Army is proposing to construct a gazebo on the south side of their property. It's a 16-foot by 13-foot tall gazebo, just your basic lumber plus a concrete slab. So it's a slight site plan modification. And here's the design of the gazebo. Staff recommends approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on this good proposal? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. Item 5, site and architectural plans for Tesla vehicle chargers at Myers, an existing business located at 5800 West Layton Avenue, but submitted by Sarah Honeycutt, DBA GPD Group, and tax key is listed.
Thank you. Tesla is proposing to put charging stations just to the east of the gas station on the Meyer grocery store parcel. They would be removing 16 stalls to install these 12 charging stations. A net loss of 3 parking spaces when all is said and done to, for the spaces for the vehicles. There will be an enclosure on a 2-inch raised concrete pad, enclosed by an 8-foot tall saddle brown wood plastic composite board to encompass the mechanics, and a removal of 1 landscaping tree for the transformer. So here's just a more detailed plan. So here's the gas station, and the charging stations will be to the east. These are pictures of existing charging stations. This is what they will look like. And this is just the enclosure. The site will not be manned or monitored. The users pay with a Tesla app, so there's no money being transferred. There's not even a credit card apparatus. Staff recommends just that a security camera be added to the east side of that gas station. There are newspaper headlines of issue, maybe theft or whatever, but it's just a good idea to have that security camera there, help the police out if there's ever an issue. But otherwise, staff recommends approval.
I take it they're not here. I didn't see any Teslas in it, but they are.
Oh.
Please come to the mic. Who's going to own them?
They're owned and operated by us, and we're doing a ground lease with Meyer.
So you're leasing a property from Meyer?
Correct, yep.
What is the estimated cost of the structures?
It'll be somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000.
How much?
$300,000 and $400,000.
So that is, is it personal property then, or is it an actual structure? How is that going to be taxed?
It should be it shouldn't be defined as or generally isn't defined as a structure. I'm not sure what the tax implications are for that. Usually it doesn't change the way that the property taxes are assessed. That hasn't been my experience.
Your experience is that it's typically assessed basically as property value on the property?
Yeah, at least to us. So we haven't had other Meyer properties where we've been dealing with.
So Myers isn't on the hook for paying the tax on the $300,000?
That's generally correct. I mean, it does depend on how the taxes are assessed. I mean, that varies by.
We're looking into it as we speak.
Okay. We haven't had too many, I guess, tax valuations change on that. I haven't had to have a lot of conversations with our site hosts on who's covering which tax bill, so.
And Tesla, you have some sort of agreement with Meyer, right? These
Correct.
typically go at Meyer
Yeah, this is gonna be almost our 50th site with Meyer.
50th,
Yeah.
okay.
So kind of like a triple net lease that they'd be responsible for probably paying it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
We had till council to figure that one out, but
I'm assuming Meyer's paying the taxes on their lease of the land. That's my assumption, but again, I
Meyer
get
would assess the Tesla for the addition to the
yeah,
tax rate.
yeah,
part of the lease agreement that they have.
Right,
okay.
right.
Wouldn't Meyer know this already? They have one in Oak Creek.
Well, I'm sure they know, but
Myers does?
Yes.
Is this a
Yeah.
supercharger or is
It
this
is.
just a
Yeah.
charger?
Yep, it's a super.
There's not many.
Well, that's my job.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, that's all I got. for
Could
last
I
minute.
just ask, just for comment on the security camera item, the cable stealing that was, I guess, addressed in the site report, we've had one incident in the Midwest in the past 12 months, so it really isn't a major concern. Is it possible to leave that up to our discretion, rather than a requirement from the city unless there's a
That's up
code?
to the plan commission. They are voting this evening.
I think to integrate one more into their security system wouldn't be the end of the world for them, is it?
I think it'd be a deterrent too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they're adding an additional camera to the rest of the cameras that Meyer already has, so I think it's a prudent decision to add it.
do we have any comments from the police department as to what they think?
No, they didn't. Did they?
I didn't see anything.
I don't think so, but Andrew did note there is already, there are cameras there already. So, right, like Brian mentioned, it would just be adding one more to the system.
So is there like a blind spot or something that-
There's nothing on the east side of the building.
nothing on the east side at all? And then you're putting this there, so obviously it probably makes
It
sense
would,
to,
yeah, it makes sense. yeah,
makes
we
sense to at least put something there.
If it was a brand-new security system, then I'd say that's overkill, but we're adding one camera to a large existing system that
Sure.
I don't think it's a huge burden to put.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Is that on Tesla or Meyer?
I think that'd be on Meyer's property, this whole part's on Meyer's property, so.
Well, this is the discussion that we're gonna have, so I'm trying to remove a little bit of back and forth on our end by asking, you know, if it's truly required or not. It doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It's just when it becomes a requirement, that opens up a little bit of a can of worms for us. But if it's prudent and the decision of the commission, then we'll work on that.
Okay. Anything else? Entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Thank you, looking forward to it.
Thanks, guys.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pardon? I was gonna go, I was not gonna approve this until they lowered the gas prices, so internal combustion engines don't go away.
He's got his hands full of Twitter right now, so,
Yeah.
thank you.
6.
Conversation after the recorded,
No, it's all recorded.
Never had anything like that before, so
Yeah.
it's good to get educated.
Item 6A and 6B, special use permit and site plan review for Vape City Tobacco in Greenfield, a proposed tobacco and CBD retailer to be located at 4969 South 27th Street, submitted by Rahu Abdul Asanha.
No, it's actually by Raed Cham.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is proposing to occupy this entire building. The property owner, Mr. Sadhu, had built a white box, essentially not knowing who a user would be. And it was initially designed with, you can see, 3 separate entrances for the potential for 3 different tenants. But the applicant is proposing to occupy the entire building, which is about 3,900 square feet with tobacco and CBD store. Both tobacco and CBD require special use permit, which we kind of combine into one. In this particular zoning district, and a public hearing would be required, which could be scheduled as early as July 19th. The applicant is requesting to operate 24 hours, 7 days a week, and then indicated that their second preference would be 24/7 with security from midnight to 6. And then third preference would be 6 a.m. to midnight. To be consistent with other tobacco stores and in the city, staff was recommending the operation be open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that's something the Planning Commission, can recommend with the hours. Ultimately, it gets added to the special use permit resolution, which could be adopted by the Common Council if they so choose at the public hearing. They're not proposing any site changes. Obviously, this is under construction still. The applicant is, however, requesting a signage plan waiver, and that is, that was kind of a moving target until this afternoon. So there is a proposed monument sign, freestanding sign along 27th Street. It's not quite approved by staff yet, but signage that meets our new sign code just gets approved by staff. And if they're asking for something above and beyond, it goes before the Planning Commission for a waiver. So the monument sign we're not really discussing, but I just wanted to point out that there would be a 32 square foot monument sign out in front along 27th Street. What they're requesting for the waiver is the wall signage. They're requesting 3 signs along the front or east elevation. And then they're requesting, this was not in the staff report, they are requesting 2 signs along the south elevation along Holmes Avenue, and this is what was changing up until today. So total signage requested is 5 wall signs. The sign code allows for 2, and their request is 77 square feet within those 5 signs. So the total square footage is lower than what's allowed. It's the quantity, the number of signs that they're requesting the waiver. So, go ahead, Carl.
If you would like, you can come to the mic, but does anyone have any?
I was gonna say, do they really, I guess I'll wait until he comes, because I'm curious on
I'm
the.
with you. I mean, that's a residential side of the 360 building, though.
But isn't that a street behind them? Is that 360 viewing of this building?
Well, that's a parking lot behind them.
This is, here, this is Holmes Avenue.
Yep.
Holmes Avenue is behind him, so you're looking north. This is the south building elevation. And then this is the east front elevation facing 27th Street.
Talking about, I know we did homes on 76th Street, and we made big changes to homes there, but weren't we talking at one time about making a change on the Holmes Avenue as it joins 27th Street?
Yeah, you're right. There was discussion of engineering, with engineering of do we want to close it off? I think that that's still up for debate, but I don't think the conversation went much further than that.
So I got a question. Are you going to expand? I guess I'll ask it this way. Why do you need so much space for a tobacco outlet? It's a lot of space, right?
So the goal is, and I did write a short little explanation. Well, it is somewhat short.
Okay.
Just to explain to you guys and give you guys an overall picture and an idea of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. But this is going to be an outlet. So when you think of an outlet, you think of more affordable pricing, a large selection, hence why the space makes sense for us. Also, we are neighbors to Paul's Wine and Liquor, which is an alcohol outlet as well. So it makes sense that you have both next to each other and that you offer variety, and that the square footage will allow us to incorporate many products from across the world there, and it'll help differentiate ourselves from your other standard brick and mortar tobacco outlets that have been open or that are opening now. And I'm sure you're seeing a lot of them with the adoption of hemp and CBD, and with the electronic cigarette industry and the growth of the electronic cigarette industry. In regards, Christy, to the sign on homes, we've consolidated to one sign. So, okay. So if you guys would allow me, I did write a little explanation to just go over kind of what I'm thinking and give you guys just a broader perspective. I'd like to begin in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. I want to thank the city of Greenfield for allowing me an opportunity to continue pursuing my entrepreneurial journey. I have lived on the Milwaukee side of the 53221 zip code basically my entire life, and I've witnessed the tremendous growth of the city of Greenfield, and that is a testimony upon the leadership of this city and those dedicated to the growth and the prosperity of this community. I'd like today to give some context around my reasoning for proposing a 24-hour operation as a tobacco outlet. My experience within this industry is extensive and rich, and I would like to give an example of an existing tobacco outlet I am currently operating, which will help give some insight to the potential of this location that we are discussing today. Ironically, my retail outlet on 92nd and Howard falls on the Milwaukee corner, while Greenfield falls on the opposite corner. And the location we are discussing today falls on the Greenfield corner, and the city of Milwaukee falls on the opposite side. Hence, at my 92nd and Howard location, I am somewhat competing with the city of Greenfield, and at our proposed 27th Street location, we are competing with the city of Milwaukee. This is important to consider, and I brought copies of the last 6 months of total monthly revenue generated and sales tax collected at our 92nd Street location. We currently we average between $300,000 and $350,000 in sales every month at our 92nd location, and we've been open for this is our 5th year of operation. We're collecting close to $20,000 in revenue for the city of Milwaukee, and these numbers are growing constantly, and we are generating the numbers between 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Work days Monday through Sunday. The potential of the location we're discussing today, I believe, far outweighs the potential of our 92nd and Howard Street location, the reason being 27th Street. 27th Street, as you all know, is a main artery in Milwaukee, and our land and property is strategically positioned with fluid access from 4 different access points, and the traffic counts according to the DOT is approximately 30,000 cars per day. According to the CDC, approximately 21% of the population in Wisconsin are tobacco consumers, meaning there are approximately 6,000 plus tobacco consumers passing by us daily. We also have to consider that, with this specific location, that less than a mile away from our proposed location exist access points to both the 894 freeway and the 94 highway. This is also important because not only do we have local commuters exiting and onboarding the freeways and highways from our area, but those also traveling to Madison or Green Bay or Chicago or Minneapolis, etc. So in summary, between 27th Street and the freeway/highway access points close by, there are cars passing by all day, all night, commuting or traveling to their destinations. If we also take into consideration the commuters and the travelers, according to nationwide statistics, those in the age categories of 18 to 35, they tend to stay up late at night. So whether they're up with friends or family or working late or commuting, to go purchase some food or snacks from a gas station, which there is a BP on Layton and 27th that is open 24 hours, which is less than half a mile away from our proposed location, Vape City Tobacco Outlet would like to become a destination that is accessible to all at all times during the day based off of each and every commuter or traveler's schedule. And we also must not forget about our 35 to 65 age categories that, according to nationwide statistics, are the ones up bright and early in the morning, commuting or traveling, and we plan on offering, free donuts and muffins and free coffee with their morning purchase of a cigar or cigarettes or tobacco in general. Another point to consider is that 27th Street is a highly patrolled artery by multiple police forces, including Franklin, Greenfield, and Milwaukee. We will supplement this by having high levels of security, and it helps that our location is not located in the heart of the city of Greenfield or in the heart of a residential part of the city. And I hope I'm not boring you guys. I just want to give you guys an overall picture. It also helps that our neighbor and our landlord, and the one we share the same plot of land with, Paul, from Paul's Wine and Liquor, has a tremendous relationship with the police force in Greenfield, so we will make sure to build off of that established relationship and solidify our presence as, hopefully, God willing, an asset to the community. Opening 24/7 gives us on the Greenfield side of 27th Street to not only compete with a more quote-unquote lenient city of Milwaukee, which is right across the street, but become a destination for all those in the surrounding suburbs to come stop by due to our 24-hour accessibility. To conclude, this idea came to me from a tobacco retail outlet in the state of Minnesota, which I've lived there for a few years, in the city of Oakdale. This outlet is a 24-hour operation and the only 24-hour tobacco outlet operation in the state, generating close to $30,000 a day in revenue. This store is a destination in Minnesota. Vape City Tobacco Outlet's model, structure, and reputation, I believe, will become a destination and that standard in Wisconsin, in the city of Greenfield. Why allow a competitor on the Milwaukee side, right across the street, on a main artery, to have this advantage when we can become the first movers here in Greenfield? This is especially because of the strategic nature of being on 27th Street, extremely close to the main highway and freeway arteries and access points. Also, why deny third shifters the opportunity to purchase the goods they need at the times most convenient to them? That's my summary in regards to my reasoning behind the 24-hour operation, and obviously it's at your discretion. And then I do have some reasoning regarding the signage. Christy, if you may allow me.
You have to ask the chairperson running the meeting.
Keep going on.
Okay, in regards to signage, it's really quick and simple. In regards to the signage on the building, Paul, our landlord, like Christy stated, built the building with the intent of having 3 tenants. Hence, there are 3 slots for signage on the building. Yes, I understand that we are one tenant occupying the entire space, but one thing to consider is the symmetry and the architectural design of the building. If you're looking at the top image, you'll understand what I'm saying. The face of the building consists of two triangular 3D posts that are meant to hold signs with a rectangular flat surface wall separating those two triangular posts apart by like approximately 50 feet. If we were to only place a sign on either the right or left triangular posts without a sign in the middle, it would throw off the entire look of this beautifully new built property. Or even if we did one on the left or one on the right with the middle sign, it would still seem unfinished. So we truly believe that our beautiful VCT logo on both of those triangular posts and our channel letter tobacco outlet part of the logo will look aesthetically pleasing to the eye and will give the entire building a more finished and polished look. And this is not a matter of, for us, of having, the quantity of 3 or more signs, but a matter of not portraying the building as having a part missing. I believe doing anything other than this will actually backfire on the eyes of commuters passing by. And our goal is to drive as much traffic on 27th Street to come and conduct their business on our Greenfield side. Our proposal on the signage will definitely accomplish that goal, God willing, and I am hoping that you will approve of this and understand our perspective. Thank you, and God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, after all that, it should probably be utilized as something more than a tobacco place.
Yeah.
Well, pardon my ignorance here about the sale of a tobacco outlet like this, but is there an age limit on what?
Yeah, federally it's 21, but
You
in,
can't enter the store unless.
yeah, but in the state of Wisconsin it's 18 plus, but federally it's 21. It's kind of like, with cannabis, right? Cannabis federally is illegal, but in certain states it's legal.
So here, what is the age limit here?
18.
18. So
Yeah.
people cannot come into the store unless they're 18.
Yes, yes, sir.
That's what I mean.
I gotta say, I'm very pro-business. I think I've proven that here, but how many of these things do we need?
Well, this is my.
We have 15 of them in a 3-mile radius from where we sit.
We have,
And there's 5 of them on 27th Street.
I think 3 more are coming forward.
Right. That's another thing.
There's Bee City, there's Tree City. I don't wanna be Vape City.
Right.
That's my opinion.
so I'm not a tobacco guy or an alcohol guy. I don't do either. And
Okay.
I'm very thankful for that, but, and I am all about people's right to choose.
Agreed. But we just,
But I just don't see the need for us to continue to open up more and more poor choices, in my opinion, poor choices and competing. So maybe we've got so much competition that the prices come down and more people can afford it. I'm not in favor of that either. I just don't want to see more harmful substance sold to our citizens. And
Yeah.
I consider alcohol and tobacco, both, and the CBD stuff, whole nother angle. So I'm just not in favor of any of this.
Yeah, the argument in regards to, your traditional tobacco, it is on its way out, whether that's a matter of 10 years, 20 years. So,
That's not helping your cause with me at all.
right,
and
so
I think one thing
offering the
I think one thing that really
alternatives.
speaks to the situation is that you're offering security guards. That just tells us, why do you need security guards?
Well,
That scares me. Why do we need to have security guards from 12 to 6?
And 24/7.
And I guess my also thought is why do you need, I get the outlet piece and you're gonna have a variety, right? Which, and then from the business perspective, the more you get, the, cheaper it is type of thing. But yeah, to me, it's a massive building for the vape. And to Dave's point, there's how many within the radius, right? So.
I'll give you an example that differentiates us from others. For example, our humidor, it's going to be a large humidor, and the entire exterior wall we plan to turn into a fish tank. So you're actually, you're walking into a fish tank to purchase cigars. Now, I know that might not really matter to you guys if you guys are not tobacco users, but usually your cigar customers, they're, more of your upper class customers. They want something unique, they want something unique, and that is something that we'll offer, and that's something that we can accomplish in this space. Other than the fact that we'll have a large variety, and I know that the way we conduct our business is much different than a lot of these other guys that are popping up.
24/7 is out of the question.
I
Okay,
have to agree.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? Festival Foods closes at 12. Paul's closes at 10.
okay,
9
9.
9 o'clock, right? Yeah,
Yeah, those items, the 24/7,
Yes.
just floors me that you'd think about 24/7 in someone's residential backyard, essentially. I mean, his house is right behind, I'm looking at him. And I think that would be totally wrong for people to be lingering out there 24/7. The signage, your excuse of the building was designed that way, you're right. Maybe we should make you eliminate the two doors that aren't really relevant in this case. So I think that might be the architectural design improvement that you're looking for. And I don't think you need a sign on homes. You're gonna have a monument sign out by the street, which is the same viewpoint as that one.
Okay,
So I would think your one sign in the center of the building and normal business hours is all I could support. And now I'm being yelled at.
Yeah, I can't see 24 hours.
I can't.
No, it's normal business hours like the other vape shops. I'm not a big fan of anywhere. I think we have more than enough of these personally, again. But to me, normal business hours.
okay.
Anyone willing to tackle it?
Can I just make a note? I think that because the signage appeal came in so late, we forgot to put that verbiage in the actual agenda item. So 6B, if we could, when someone makes a motion, if you could just say as amended, site plan review and signage plan appeal, please. Thank you. Just so it's in the actual agenda item.
Can we deny and then have them come back with improvements?
It's just basically, we deny it, goes to council.
Okay. I think that's the simplest solution.
So if we approve it or deny it, it's gonna go.
Yeah, correct.
The public hearing will be held no matter what the plan commission's recommendation is, correct?
So we could give them a guidance of what we think is correct.
I'll make a motion to approve with the hours, 8 to 10 as with the other vape stores.
How much signage? With the signage as,
Signage, as amended.
The signage that's proposed?
He's amending the signage and the hours.
Okay, so the recommendation for signage is just meet the code for two wall signs? Okay, thank you.
Then 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Got it, thank you.
minute? Is there a second? I'll second for shits.
Okay.
That was the mayor, actually. Better call roll.
Alderperson Kastner?
Aye.
Steve Rogers?
Opposed?
Brian Weiss?
No.
Don Carlson? Dave Schultz?
Opposed?
And Bob Krenz?
Opposed?
Okay, so the recommendation to the common council would be
To
to
deny.
deny it, based off of how the roll call went.
As a business?
As the business, correct?
Okay, so there's no tobacco outlet that can go in that location?
So this committee is a recommending body.
Okay.
So there's one more meeting that it needs to go before the common council.
Okay.
That would be July 19th at 7 PM. We'll be in contact with you.
Okay.
But there's a public hearing that night, and the common council ultimately makes the decision yes or no. So
Okay.
we're a recommendation tonight.
They don't necessarily agree with our
Okay,
recommendation.
okay, but we will follow your recommendations in regards to the hours and limiting the signs according to code.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, guys, thank you, yes.
7A and B and C. Special use permit and site plan review and amend the ordinance for Calderas Restaurant and Bar, a full-service restaurant to be located at 5455 West Forest Home Avenue, submitted by Mr. Hernandez. Tax key is listed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Calibres is the,
Calibres.
Calibres, yes, is the
It sounded
proposed
French.
restaurant to occupy the former Burger King site on Forest Home Avenue. The applicant has a 5-year lease. They would propose a full-service Mexican restaurant. So Burger King is considered in our code a limited service, and so this requires a brand-new special use permit and public hearing for the full service. The property is oddly split zoned C2 and C3. There's, we'll get into that here, but they are proposing to, we actually, the city, are kind of initiating to rezone to be one consistent. You may recall Speedway had this issue on Loomis, I think it was probably in 2021. It was split zoned, and so we just cleaned that up. So the proposed hours of operation would be Monday through Wednesday, 7 to midnight, Thursday through Sunday, 7 to 2 a.m. They would be requesting an alcohol license from the Common Council, and they estimate approximately 100 to 200 customers and 8 employees. There would be no external building or site changes proposed. They do have a food truck. They operate a food truck. They would use this kitchen for their food truck, and they wish to park the food truck on site when it's not in use. There's sufficient parking, 38 spaces provided, 25 required. This is the condition of the site. You can see it's, probably because of the vacancy for a while with Burger King. Weeds, general maintenance needs to be upkept. Over time, snow plows have damaged some of the poured curbs, so we're asking that be repaired, and that we're asking also the drive-through will not be operational, that they remove these mechanics from the property. So again, staff's recommendation is to repair that damaged curb and part of the fence along the south property line needs to be repaired, and just do some general maintenance, repainting, and provide an as-built landscaping plan. So here's the zoning situation. Oddly, also, these dotted lines are true lot lines. It's very strange. So it's one tax key number. So at some point, someone purchased all of these parcels. They just went to the county and said, hey, can I get one tax bill instead of 5? So you get your combined tax key number, but the lot lines never were removed or erased. So we're asking that the property owner who has been part of these conversations come back to actually do supply a certified survey map. And this, again, was the same situation with Speedway. So at one point, there were multiple parcels. They got combined into one. So that's what we're requesting to move forward. Otherwise, staff recommends approval.
They here? I heard your food truck's very good.
Yeah, evening, thank you.
I've got nothing really. I just thought I'd bring them up.
I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
I got nothing but excitement about another Mexican restaurant in town, so.
Oh, now
Thank you.
we're something you like. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. That's for all 3 items, I take
Yes.
it? Maybe and C?
Yeah.
A, B, and C.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
8A and 8B, special use review and a site plan review for Area 414, a proposed full-service restaurant and catering business to be located at Carlos Catering at 5110 West Loomis, submitted by Mario. The tax key is listed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a similar situation where you have a new operator for a former restaurant, in this case catering business, on Loomis Road. So the applicants agreed to purchase actually this instead of lease for a similar restaurant and catering type of business. Property zone C2, which requires a special use. So we're a special use review in this case. No public hearing would be required. The hours of operation would be Monday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday, 11 to midnight, Saturday, 9 to midnight, Sunday, 9 to 10. And no external modifications were proposed. Interior remodel is planned, however. Staff's recommending just some basic cleanup, repair. The refuse enclosure doors you can see here have been damaged over time. Removal of the pylon sign within 2 years, that is very typical. And again, that goes with the new sign code. We give the applicants and owners time to conform to our sign ordinance. Also, maybe update the parking lot lights with the new type of light heads, and then provide a as-built landscaping plan. Otherwise, staff recommends approval.
Does the parking lot need anything?
I'm sorry?
Parking lot itself, it looks like it hadn't been,
I have to agree, it is dated. This is a review. I'd love to see more
yes.
outside bang, sparkle improvements made.
At least seal coat, that kind, I mean, those type of things, I mean,
Are they here? They're not here.
Do, no.
I think like seal coating, just again, not a huge expense, but at least,
It looks new and fresh.
exactly, I think, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
is a-
how much time do you want to give them?
4 months
Before winter?
before winter.
So, no, end of November?
They may not open by then.
Are they here?
Or
No.
maybe by opening?
Oh, bio.
Yeah, opening, because if you don't think you're gonna be open by.
I don't have any clue what's going on, but it's
Before
already
opening,
pretty
yes.
late. I mean,
No later than end
We
of
got 3 months.
23, but by opening? I don't know what their time plan is.
they may open in the middle of winter.
Yeah, unfortunately, sorry, Andrew was working with this applicant, so I don't know the opening time frame.
I mean, just parking lots are not easy and they're not cheap, anything to do with them, so.
Yeah, especially it's because it's based on petroleum.
Especially right now,
Yeah.
petroleum cost is outrageous. We're going through this right now.
End of 23?
And so.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
Sure, and give them some time. We
Yeah,
want, we
that's a
we
year
want
and
the
a half,
business, but give them
yeah.
some time to work on that.
Okay,
All right, we have a consensus on
marked.
that motion.
Agreed.
We ready for a vote? All in favor?
oh,
Aye.
I don't have motions,
We don't have
sorry.
motions.
I'll make
Oh.
a motion to approve with the seal coat by end of 23.
Got it. And Steve, thank you.
all in favor?
Now all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Is there any conversation there about that sign,
I'm sorry?
the Carl sign? I missed that.
I thought that was in there 2 years or
2
something.
years, 2 years.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
This should be fun. Item 9A and 9B, special use permit and site plan review for Seventh Heaven Shop, a proposed tobacco and CBD retailer to be located at 6009 West Layton Avenue, submitted by Ines Khatum.
Right across the street.
You know how many times we've beaten this one to death, that they wanted to put a vape shop across the
just
street from a
make
high
'em-
school?
Make a motion to decline.
To deny.
I'll second that motion to
I'll make a motion to decline.
Okay, I got Dave and Steve Rogers, okay. I do believe the applicant is here, but I just,
Well, then, give them a chance to speak, but.
I mean, that,
Everything I said before, I would say again here, but in addition, this
It's
is
a
across the
school.
street from high school.
Right.
right.
and everything we said the last 3 times that they came in front of us, we would say again tonight, which is kind of,
Ditto, ditto, ditto.
yeah, kind of pointless.
Yeah, it,
All in favor of the motion to decline?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. Item 10, ordinance to amend the official Greenfield zoning map by rezoning a property located at 2755, 2775 West Ramsey Avenue from C1 Neighborhood Commercial District to C3 Highway and Commercial Service Business District, submitted by Ali. I'm really bad at this. Sorry, guys. Alicia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is kind of a cleanup situation. This site is oddly zoned C1, but all of the property to the east and along 27th Street is zoned C3. They do intend on filling a tenant space with a restaurant in the future, but restaurants aren't allowed in the C1. And so they would have to upgrade, I would say, to the C3, which follows the city's comprehensive plan for future rezoning. So staff recommends approval, and a public hearing would be required. The future tenant will obviously come before the Plan Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Architectural plans for McDonald's and existing, item 11, for an existing business located at 4550 South 108th Street, submitted by Mark Smith, doing business as Access Infrastructure, and Joseph Moore of McDonald's Corporation. Tax key is listed. Why did this, did we stop them?
I'm sorry, did what?
Did we stop the work on this?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it's halfway.
I mean,
in between.
it's been like that for a year.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just been falling
You hear?
apart. I could be wrong, but
I mean, it seems so minor that I don't even think we need to be here. Why
well,
are you
it's
here?
because of the material change. We have a approved architectural plans.
Can't do it because it's falling off.
So, go ahead, please explain this.
Basically, the tile failed because water got behind it and it froze and we tore it off for safety, for the sheer reason it was coming down in sheets. So it's only been torn off for like a couple months, 2-3 months. Hasn't been an entire year, but because of the material change, we had to submit.
All right, I didn't want to be the one that held you up, is where I'm going. You're not saying anything. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. I'll make a motion to approve.
You can second, motion, whatever. Any other discussion?
End discussion.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Revised site, 12, revised site landscape and architectural plans for Playtime Doggy Daycare 3, a proposed dog boarding business to be located at 4333 South 108th Street, submitted by Greg Powinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This particular business was before the Plan Commission last year, and the applicant, Greg, had taken some time to reconsider. Maybe he was thinking, maybe I don't want to move here. But anyways, we're back to serious interest in this property, and it is less than 1 year, so the approval is still good, but they're proposing just a few modifications from what the Plan Commission originally approved. So those modifications are the 8-foot fence that they're requesting in the front, which the code says you need a 6-foot fence. Staff doesn't have the authority to approve that minor change, so that's why we're before the Plan Commission for the taller fence. And then also just let's see here. There will be a 10-foot wall in the back, and they're going to seed and grass the back area. That was a point of discussion last time around. And then I think there's just one small color change, but otherwise, staff recommends the gray with the blue trim around the garage door portion of the front facade. This is what they're proposing is the blue here. Otherwise, staff does recommend approval. It does make sense to have the 8-foot fence. Greg has noted that he has seen or knows of some dogs that can jump over a 6-foot fence. We don't want that happening. And I think it's set back far enough from Highway 100. It shouldn't be an issue. And it's a contiguous material with the building as well.
Is it going to be the same type as on Layton?
The doggy daycare?
Yeah, meaning same type of fencing.
No, it's actually going to be a wall.
So it's going to be the
Going to be
wall.
made of LP Smart Sign
Yeah.
in the front.
Oh,
So
okay.
a very nice finished look.
The continuation of the building
I see what you're
material.
saying now. Okay.
Maybe it's my error calling it a fence. I don't know.
Okay.
It acts as a fence.
Tried looking at all the paint samples, and I couldn't find horrible blue.
Because what color is the one on Layton? I forget. I was just there this week.
It's honorable blue and repose gray. We've used those colors for all of our years. Honorable blue is a Sherwin-Williams color.
Your shirt,
Yeah,
color of your shirt.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Same color as Best Buy.
Yeah, we didn't like that one either.
Yeah, we didn't like that blue.
Okay, different color than Best Buy.
I'll make a motion to approve. It really has been approved. This is an
Right,
improvement.
right.
This is much, much better
Yeah,
proposal. I think it's
I have one item to change, Mr. Chairman, if I can.
I don't know. Yeah,
Sure. Dave Koselniak, better known as Kaz. I am the architect for the project. The one item that Christie had mentioned that we would like to not change is in the rear of the property, there's currently asphalt pavement. It would be on the western side of the property, the full 138 feet wide by roughly 100 feet deep. In discussion on Friday and a visit to the site yesterday with my civil engineer, he's strongly recommending that we do not remove the asphalt, do not put a lawn and soil in there because of certain issues with stormwater drainage. And evident yesterday of the rainfall we had, I did have a discussion with Tim Lynch this morning, and if we can keep that drainage working the way it is now, it's certainly going to help the back of the property. We have a catch basin back there that takes the water off of that entire paved area. It worked, it functioned. If we diminish that and remove all of that asphalt, we're probably going to end up with an issue in the backyard with problems going forward. So that would be my only request, is to rescind the lawn in the back of the building, maintain it as an asphalt surface, and we're prepared to do all of the stormwater drainage calculations and hydraulics that we need to prove to city engineering that it will work and function.
So that asphalt back there, do we know if it needs any repair?
Yeah, what's the quality back there of that asphalt?
It's fair. It's got some alligatoring. There is areas where you have some fracture lines, but it's still drivable. You can still park vehicles on it. But if it works where you're driving vehicles constantly, it's going to wear out over the 5 to 10 year course of time. It'll need to be replaced.
And no public would ever have access to that back area. It's unseen.
So is that gonna be for your staff or nobody or?
For nothing.
Nothing.
It's literally for nothing. It's a closed off area that we're not using.
But couldn't you grade it where you're still keeping the grade and have grass there and still use the
Right.
catch basin, to your point, sir?
That's what I was thinking.
Couldn't
Say
you
again?
grade it and still replace it? I think, again, I'm not an engineer.
No,
but I think
we'd have to keep the grading as it is.
No, keep the grading, but we still put grass. Water still flows over grass.
Yeah, and you have a catch basin, right?
Still have a catch basin.
And
back
there
there.
Just
still
put a
is a
catch
catch
basin
basin.
with the grass
As long as
in.
it's graded, you know, as long as all the water's still pointed at that catch basin, whether it's grass or asphalt, the water should still flow there.
Right.
Right.
Long-term viability of the property is probably better if you have stormwater as an impervious surface as compared to pervious. So you don't have to redo your calcs because you have a hard surface, if in fact anything else goes there. Am I
That
wrong?
is correct. It will never get any worse.
And if you do sell it in 50 years, you won't have to put a detention pond in.
Correct.
If nobody sees it, I just want to see this thing going because it looks horrible on Highway 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be so
I
nice
can
to
live with that.
So nice to see that built back up.
Yeah, again, if it's, I don't want to add undue expense if they don't have to do it.
Right.
What about that fence and stuff back there? I mean, is there gonna be?
That will all be painted
Is it all
as we
gonna be
previously
painted?
had presented. That is the
No
fence.
comment then.
On the southwest corner, the western side of the lot, and then returning on the northwest corner to the gates that are along the north side of the building. So that entire area will be cordoned off, no public access.
Visible from the apartments above, but
Yeah, at least.
and you're gonna promise me you're not gonna store all kinds of.
I don't have anything to store.
Like a store an RV back, bunch of RVs back there or something.
I will not.
You
no.
have friends.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
nothing.
All right.
Start renting it out.
No. No interest in that.
Greg, can you remind me that the light fixtures that you see there on this picture?
Heads are all being replaced.
The heads are being replaced. It's a functional, continuing
Yes, the
functional light though.
pole's gonna be
Yep.
blasted and painted. It'll look fantastic.
Those poles will all go away.
In the back?
The back poles are going away.
They're just going away.
The
Okay.
Front are gonna be new fixtures.
Yeah,
and
okay,
painted.
got it.
Sorry.
So this rear yard will have no lighting, no interference to the apartments or the house to the west.
Perfect. I'll make a motion to approve the revised site landscaping plans as presented with the, omission of removing the backyard asphalt and replacing with sod, so we can leave the asphalt in the backyard, correct?
I'd like a second, and just like to say, I think I like dogs more than I like most people.
He wants to work
I may
there.
second that too.
Come visit, please.
Yes.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 13A and B, conceptual plan for proposed new construction of a multifamily apartment complex to be located at, let's call it Cold Spring and 92nd, submitted by Bill Ohm at Cobalt Partners and Scott Yelk of Cobalt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a 25-acre site that has never been developed in the city, a rarity, on 92nd, just south of Cold Spring. And you may recall, I think it was about 2 years ago, a conceptual plan came before the Plan Commission from Mr. Barrel. Mr. Barrel owned the property. Cobalt, in partnership with Joseph Properties, purchased Mr. Barrel's entire portfolio of existing apartment buildings, plus this one vacant parcel that was not developed yet. So before the Plan Commission this evening I'll start off with actually 13B, the ordinance to amend the parcel. So it's zoned single family. The city obviously is known for quite a while. The intent is to do multifamily with that conceptual plan. So in the comprehensive plan, the Common Council identified this as mixed residential for future use. So their proposed PUD, I'm calling it number 3. That's what we're doing so far, or from now on, is numbering our PUDs. And the specific PUD, the actual ordinance calls out for only one use. You may recall in Loomis and Layton, we had a category of multiple uses. This would be one use listed for multifamily residential only. And it would be permitted, obviously. So that is one item that actually the Plan Commission would vote on this evening, is a recommendation for this ordinance to rezone the parcel. And then with that is an application for just a conceptual plan. And so this ordinance goes into a little more detail. The city does have a general PUD zoning district, and this is quite consistent with those as far as setbacks. We do call out a maximum gross density specifically for this parcel. It would be 15 units per acre. And then an open space ratio, just your basic height and height for the principal buildings and accessory buildings, again, consistent with our general PUD zoning layer. And then we always have this language in here that the Plan Commission may consider applicable standards, making determinations if something doesn't quite meet these setbacks, for instance. And they have actually already foreseen a potential setback issue due to an easement with We Energies. We Energies has an existing easement, so with that easement, they would do a no-build area, similar to what we did with Church and Chapel. So with the no-build, they would meet the setbacks, but technically it wouldn't meet that 25-foot setback. So it's just something that they foresee in the future with one small area on the entire site plan. So just wanted to bring that up. And so then conceptually, here is the general site plan that they have in mind. And again, this is just a draft. More details are coming in the future, but they have a mixture of 12-unit buildings, 15-unit buildings, and 18-unit buildings spread out throughout the site. There would obviously be stormwater retention. There would be a pedestrian path along the south and a walking trail and amenities such as a clubhouse, a pool area, playground, dog run, and like I mentioned, the pedestrian path. So here's the breakdown. Again, draft conceptual site plan would be 3 12-unit buildings, 8 15-unit buildings, 6 18-unit buildings for a total of 264 units. Here's the breakdown for bedroom, 1-bedroom, 1-bedroom with den, and 3-bedroom units. And you can see the 2-bedroom units are the most popular. As far as parking, again, the draft site plan, they do plan to accommodate over 600 parking spaces for the 264 units. They would have attached garage, plus you can see, exterior parking available as well. These would not be public roads. It would be private drive in the development. And the density is, at this point, about 11 to 12 units per acre, which is less than the PUD would specify of 15. So these are just general ideas. This is a product that Greenfield hasn't seen in a while. We're not talking about the big buildings with the long corridors. Individual entries to the units, and again, attached garages. So these are just conceptual ideas of possibly what the buildings would look like, conceptual idea for the clubhouse. So I welcome the applicants to provide more or better details than what I did. But that's the general concept for the
Going
development.
back to that easement, I thought that easement ran from point A to point B all the way underneath the ground.
It's
Like from that building.
It's something up here, right?
I know, right,
Stan?
no, right in the middle of that damn thing.
Oh, wait, is it come down here?
So it go,
I thought it goes straight through.
then from that
Now that-
utility thing to the other big thing.
There's actually Dan Roscoff from Cobalt Partners, there's actually a access easement that goes from the one power station on that is on Cold Spring. And it's a road that goes and connects up with the other power station on 92nd. And the main reason why they put that there is when they built the larger substation on 92nd, the road is not built to a standard that would handle their heavy equipment. So they built that road internally. That road is still there. It's just gravel. It's below dirt. And chances are they probably won't need to access it, but that needs to stay. So we're reconfiguring the site plan so that our internal road actually will go over the top of that road and allow them to maintain that access.
Okay, I was under the understanding there's actually wires under there.
No, there's actually not. It's
Well, that's
just
good
an,
news.
it's an
Otherwise, it
access.
screwed everything up.
Yeah, no, it's an access route that they need to get between the two substations.
Did you get a chance to read the mayor's email?
I did, and one thing I just want to make a comment on.
I don't necessarily agree with it anyhow, but
No, that's fine. Well, tonight again, this is more of just a concept so that you guys can understand what we're bringing forth to get this zoning change. This is a much less dense multifamily development than what we did at Loomis Crossing. Same thing as what we did at 84 South. Both of those multifamily developments are at a much higher density. Loomis Crossing, I believe, is close to 30 units per acre. And I believe the 4884 South is right around 40 units per acre. What we're proposing here is just over 11 units per acre. And again, this is just concept. So what we're trying to do is give you a feeling for what it's going to look like. We've probably gone through, 4 or 5 reiterations of this plan.
That's accurate.
Yeah, and we'll still refine it before we bring it back in front of you guys. And when we do come back, we'll have the full civil package, we'll have the landscape plans, we'll have the elevations, the whole 9 yards for approval. And we anticipate doing that sometime this summer. But again, Christy thought it would be useful if we had just the concept so you guys could understand how the layout may look in order to approve the zoning that we're requesting.
Are you hoping to keep it as 2 stories?
Yes, everything on here will be 2 stories.
Okay.
Every single unit will have at-grade access, both into the unit and then also into their garage. They're all 2-car garages.
There's a mixture of 1 and 2-car garages.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
On the plan, but it is unique to this style building where each of the units does have its own attached garage. So there's no studio that has to walk to a detached garage or something along those lines, so.
Yeah, and there's no common access points. Every individual unit has its own door.
Is this really similar to Wimmer's property by Whitnell High School? Very similar to that property, I think, for the style building.
They do a lot of this, it's typically called garden style.
Yeah, exactly, garden style
Yep.
apartments. Yep. No, I think it's good use and a good mix, good start.
Yeah, it really fills a void right now because, with the increased construction costs and, with mortgage rates going up, home affordability is getting tougher and tougher. So we are developing this plan and the amenities that you'll see on here that will bring forth really to attract families so that they can get larger units. And, many of them are not going to be able to afford to get into the housing market right now, unfortunately.
Related to that, what school district, is it Whitnell or Greenfield? I know the dividing line is right around 92nd Street.
I think Christy could probably answer that. What school district
Sorry?
is this in?
Oh,
Do you know?
this should be Greenfield.
I think it is.
Yeah.
You sure?
You thought Whitnell?
Yeah, I thought it was Whitnall.
Oh, shoot, let me
Yeah,
check.
Because I know generally the
Google
dividing
can tell
line
me.
is about 92nd Street. I think there's some exception.
Yeah, there is some exception, but
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing this is Whitnall.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
wondering.
is 92nd the border?
Generally, yes.
Generally speaking, yes.
Okay, great.
One thing,
I wasn't prepared for this.
84 South, love it. My
Oh,
daughter
not
actually lives
Greenfield
over there.
Union, no.
This is, with this layout and with families there, I'm just, like Memorial Day and your pool was jammed. One pool gonna be enough is all I'm gonna say, just from a usability.
Yeah.
That's all, I mean, it's, 84 South turned out really nice, we're all real proud of what you guys have done over there.
Thank you. Yeah, and we would, same thing with this.
Families, I just say,
Yeah, same thing with this development. I mean, the architecture will be, up beyond what you typically see for this garden style. We'll look forward to bringing that forward to you guys. We'll
Are
have
you
a real rich amenity package.
Are you suggesting they add a splash pad for celebrations with families?
Oh, look at that. It is Whitnall.
It is Whitnall.
And then I was thinking, one-car garage, is that you're gonna attract folks with one-car garage? Is that gonna be, yeah?
bedroom units.
No,
It
it's,
is,
not- it's Greenfield.
No, this is
Yeah, but
Greenfield's boundary.
Right.
See 92nd Street?
It's right here.
No, it's not.
No, wait, I am wrong.
It's in Colt. It's in green.
It's half and half?
It is Greenfield. Thank you, Dave.
That's interesting, yeah.
That's why I say 92 is kind of generally the rule, but yeah.
It's Greenfield.
That's probably why I couldn't answer that. 'cause
That's
I didn't
literally
know.
it is this parcel is the boundary.
Keep all your kids south of.
Oh, we can argue about that all night.
Right.
See that existing building, does any of this parcel go into the Whitnall?
Yeah,
I think it's both, isn't it?
it's gotta be.
I mean, there's just that little chunk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is both, that's what, okay. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Both, you have both school districts.
It's both.
That really doesn't affect anything,
No,
other
it's
than
more of
a
a curiosity.
tax key number, probably.
Lean towards less families.
Yeah, less families on the north end of the property, more families in the south.
Oh my, that is interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, that will happen by default.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, that's Milwaukee, isn't it?
No, it's Whitnall.
Whitnall.
No, the other, but to the.
So these right
Milwaukee
here,
goes all the way to
No, that's
Howard.
That's all Greenfield.
That's really Whitnall?
Yeah.
this guy.
On this part right here, be Whitnall, and this below here.
They should change their boundary to follow the parcel.
I think so.
Because it's further away than the parcel that's.
Okay, this is definitely future discussion for the school districts.
That is. You've got potential of two different school districts, buses, or how.
I would imagine they're
busing?
busts.
And
They'd have to,
They
I
should,
would think.
Either
They
go
should-
in there or kids would have to come
they
out.
should
to come
change
out,
their
yeah.
boundary.
as a note to that discussion, it's a small detail, but as we mentioned, we are refining the plan, and to work with the easement, it's actually the road that is where building on the the northeast corner, where we're talking, where there's a building on this plan that is currently the roadway, and the building mirrors actually to the inside. So it may, by the time we're done with this site plan, be a non-issue, but
Yeah.
it,
Although you'd still have to pay taxes to Whitnall for that small portion, I think, right?
I don't think anyone's gonna care, although their friends
I don't
won't
know.
go.
I think it's more of a point of interest.
I don't think it affects them, but I think it's just
we deal with,
Thing with this
we've dealt with this in a few different communities.
You know what we should do? We should combine the school districts.
oh, you wanna raise some?
Yeah.
Raise some heads, huh?
I'll make a motion that we.
No, I think it was great, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
That looks great, it looks great.
And you're staying away from the utility lines because you have to?
We have to, yeah.
It, obviously, Wimmer didn't when he built the other one.
Yeah, you can, we have, there's a lot of overhead lines in that walking area. We can definitely do, but you can't build a structure back there. And we also have ATC lines along the southern border. That's why there's a buffer there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. See, here's Cold Spring right here. And there's no way to get a street in there from northern
Yeah, see?
access, because these are all homes right here. And they're not gonna use this, the electrical access. And I don't think there's anything here west they can get in. So, it's all coming in off of 92nd Street. I don't think there's any way to solve that. But it's just unique piece of the property.
You got 2 points of access though to 92nd Street, right?
Correct.
South
Yes.
access.
Yep.
Will they both be left turn out?
I think it's beautiful. I
think
love
that-
the layout the way it is. I don't know how much you have.
We'll probably work with the county on that.
Oh,
when we
yeah,
come in
that's
with
right, yeah.
the- They'll basically dictate what
Yeah.
we can and cannot do.
Sure.
Just one other thing too, as a point of interest, and I think Christy may have had this in her package, but the walking paths that you see that connect 92nd Street that go to the back of the property, that path will continue all the way up, and I believe is planned to connect with Cold Spring, correct?
Yeah, so it'll probably scoot closer to the south property line than what was shown on the conceptual plan. Actually, I talked to Jeff Katz about this the other day, but scoot along the south property line and then cut through Elizabeth Residences, which will come before the Plan Commission again in the near future, I believe, and then run parallel basically with the freeway, and then it's going to eventually continue up parallel with the freeway. So,
Well, we don't have that top part approved yet.
correct. That's the
Turn right.
long-term plan.
It'll turn right before it gets there. That's going in as we speak.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Cold Spring west to,
Yep, over here.
yeah.
Under construction.
And then along the freeway to the open area and then
Right, yep.
all the way down. It's gonna be beautiful biking.
Yeah, it will be nice when
Well,
it's all done.
conceptual, so it doesn't mean anything. Make a motion to adjourn.
I just came back from the cities, Minneapolis, and their biking trail system is spectacular.
Yeah.
It's beyond anything. They have bike lanes, walking lanes, both directions.
Right.
Green space, ownership of the property next to it from the apartment buildings is well-maintained, and it's an activity center that, kind of like living on a golf course.
Yeah.
And they capitalize on the fact that they're there, so we should capitalize on the fact that we have this, trail that runs through our city,
Yep,
which
definitely.
can be utilized.
Yep.
Where was that, Carl?
Minneapolis,
Oh, okay.
Minneapolis, uptown.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous. So, 13B, I'll make a motion to amend the ordinance of the official Greenfield zoning map by rezoning a property located at 4400 South 92nd Street from R2 Single Family Residential to Plan Unit Development PUD number 3 submitted by Colbar Partners.
Second it.
Any discussion on the rezoning part of this? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. And I think you got enough feedback on 13?
We did.
You guys are thorough
There is
enough that
one
you'll...
architectural question. On slide 40, if we could just jump to that with the basis for the PUD,
Oh, sorry.
with the accessory structures being 1 story
Uh-huh.
/ is that a 25 or is that 15?
15.
15? That's like a detached, oh, well, I guess your golf,
So for a
your,
clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
A 15-foot height is a kind of a tough ask.
sure, all right. That's why we're here to discuss this. We need to do it now.
As we start to look at it architecturally, we would think 20 to 25 would give some flexibility for some
Okay.
volume, like is what's shown on slide 43.
Sure.
Where you get a little bit
Right
more
here.
height.
Because it's gonna be a
Yeah.
story and a half at least anyways with vaulted.
Yeah, the rest of the, not to exceed the other buildings?
That
would be fine.
That would certainly be fair.
Which architectural firm are you?
I'm sorry, I should have made the introduction. This is Eric Harmon with AG Architects.
AG. Say hi to Gene when you see him.
I will, absolutely.
So that was in my motion?
Sure.
Sure, we'll
Do you
just
want to
go with
amend
that?
it, or?
Amend that to, what did we say, 25 feet? So
No, I think not to exceed the other buildings.
not to exceed the other structures.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That'll
Opposed?
make the
Nothing.
design
Motion
of that
carries.
better.
So when you build the mayor's storage building and you put the second floor gazebo up there that you will overlook to the west to the sunset.
There you go.
You'll meet the needs.
Yeah, we've run into that, what the definition of auxiliary structure is, and clubhouses sometimes kind of go either way. It makes sense on a garage or
Yeah.
a maintenance shop, but
No, man, your garage might be over 25 feet too.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Have fun
Thank
with
you.
it. How about that? All right, item 14. If we're ready for you.
Yes, thank you. We, I guess, Spring Mall update, they had 7 offers to purchase, because Brixmor put out like a public bid. They received 7, and they've narrowed it down to 4. And 3 of the 4 are local, and so I'm just waiting to hear. They said that they expected to pick one maybe by the end of this week. So, and then, obviously, they have to bring a proposal to us and all of that, but I would say every proposal would be some sort of mixed use, probably heavy on residential.
And capitalizing on that bike trail that is
Yeah.
going to be to the north
Yeah.
would be ideal.
Great amenity, yep.
Cobalt.
Any news on the former site known as Steinhoffels?
Yes. There is definitely movement with a user for that corner. I do believe that we'll see something in the coming months as far as a proposal. And
It's a good chance
much
we'll like it.
good, deep commitment from the user.
That was good. Oh.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, we're working with a user that we've had contact with since the beginning of 84 South. The concepts that they're bringing in will definitely be something that's not seen in this area. And I'm not just talking Greenfield, but all the surrounding communities. They're looking at having 2 separate restaurants, 2 different concepts with a public activated green space in between that will also kind of serve as a beer garden. It's going to be really neat, assuming it comes together, and it's progressing quite nicely. We're going through the design stage with the architects right now. And I think we're planning on doing a submittal probably in August if we hit our timeframes. So I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised, I hope.
Any kind of estimated build date?
Yeah, I mean, if we hit our plan, we would start construction yet this year. It'd be toward the winter, late fall for sure. Just so we can get footings in the ground, but then they'll build through winter, and then the goal would be to open the first restaurant, I think it was in December.
Yeah, I think
of the
so, yep,
following year.
December.
I remember.
Yep. And
In time
then
for the Christmas
second,
party.
Yeah, and then the second restaurant would follow that by 2 months. It would open. And then the third, which is the green area, it'll actually have a separate, smaller structure. That would open like May 1st. I mean, they're going to have like 275 employees between all 3. So that's one of the reasons why they also have to stagger. I mean, it's really tough to,
Fire right now.
yeah.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it.
It really will be exciting.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's probably one of the neatest uses that we've entertained since we started this project, and it'd be great to get that in the ground and up so that the community can use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it's the best one yet.
I do. Yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you again.
yeah, no problem. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Well, thank you for everything. You too.
Make a
Item-
motion to adjourn.
15, entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
We are adjourned.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Stay cool, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.